So welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Rainer and this is Rainier Books. Another week has passed, another week to wrap up. Today I'm going to tell you about the books, or the book that I have finished last week, the books that I'm reading currently, and some other things about the state of the world in which we're living in. But before we get started with the books, after the intro, you're going to see a little exploration of my new surroundings here. We're going to look at some art in the public place. Let's get started. Well, hello everybody. Before I sit down a little later today for another weekly wrap-up, I want to take you on a walk in my suburb to show you some art that has been created in 2016, 5 years ago, paid by Stockholm City. There's a mural on a wall of a normal house, pretty close to this here. And the city has paid for it. They had a project leader, her name was Frida Cornell, and a French artist corporation, Cité Créative, something like that, I have to look it up, has painted the mural. And now I'm going to take you to the mural. So we're looking for number 40, and that is actually behind me. When I see that right, and that must be pretty much at the end of this, not the first but the second row of houses. Let's go down there. Well, here it says 24 to 40, but I don't see any mural. Let's go around here. Let's find the mural. Well, it must be on the other side. Here it says 34 to 36. On that house, you can walk through and go to the entrances of those houses, and so 40 must be on the other side. I found it. I found the mural right behind me, and it's really, really big. It's the whole wall of this beautiful house. Let's take a look at it. So Cité Création, a French company of artists based in Lyon, has done this. It's gone over the wall, and it depicts several scenes from this area, from the suburb. It mirrors its diversity, with football playing girls, you know, the lake, Margolin, which is very, very close to here, the nature with the birds and everything, and people barbecuing and living in beautiful peace together. Children sitting there and drinking lemonade with a lot of sugar in it, and rabbits looking for food. That is the mural here at Brunskogsbacken. It's amazing. Well, I was totally fascinated by this mural, which is not far away from here, which was financed with tax money. The French company, actually, Cité Création, that has made the mural, has made public art in, I think, more than 30 or 40 different countries. And they have done a couple of hundred of those pieces, not only murals, but also other stuff in the public place. Very, very interesting. But let's get to the books. To the book that I finished last week. I was really happy because the week before and last week I finished one book each, and that is sort of new to me. I was in a sort of a reading slump, many things to do, many other things to do. I was moving, I'm living in a new apartment, I still have to build a lot of things up here. So things are changing, and that has also stopped me from reading. But last week, actually, I finished one novel. I finished it today, this morning, and that is Raven Leilani's novel, Luster, that was on the long list for the International Women's Prize. This is a very interesting book. I really liked it a lot. Raven Leilani, it's her debut novel. She is... has previously published in Granta, the Year Review, in lots of literary magazines, the New England Review, and other publications. She has an MFA from New York University and was an Accent Foundation writer in residence. And this book is her first book. It's about a Afro-American girl. is somebody with 23 is still a girl or a woman. We would say a woman in German. So a 23-year-old Afro-American woman. Her name is Edie. She is living together with a roommate somewhere in New York City in pretty poor conditions. She has work, but she also is not only living with a roommate, but also with cockroaches and mice. And in the run of the novel, she's going to lose her job. That's not a spoiler, but it's a pretty difficult life that she's living. And on the internet, she has met a guy, Eric White, male apparently, white, almost twice her age, I guess, 45, 46 years old. Eric is married to Rebecca, and they have adopted a daughter, an Afro-American daughter. Her name is Akira, and she's 12 years old in the beginning of the novel. And Eric is having an affair with Edie. Edie is very sexually orientated. She wants to have sex on the first date, but Eric is not giving her that. Not only she has to wait like 2, 3, 4, 5 more days, and she's pretty much focused on the sexual thing very much. And then finally, they come together, and Rebecca, the wife of Eric, knows about the relationship that her husband is having. And after a while, when Edie's socioeconomic situation gets more dire, Edie is also moving into the house of Eric, Rebecca, and Akira. And a very interesting story emerges. There's a lot of backstory about Edie's family. Edie's mother has committed suicide. Edie's father has disappeared somehow and died later on. It is a very sad book, actually, but also a very good book with a lot of reflection of the narrator, Edie, about her life and about the pain that she has gone through and that she's going through all the time. It's also a novel about the sexual desires of a woman, which is pretty much, still differently regarded probably from a huge part of society as the sexual desires of young men. So Edie is a very sexual person, and she describes herself as that, and she's not afraid of doing so. But all in all, I think Luster is primarily, I would say it's a coming-of-age novel, because Edie is 23 and she is sort of still growing up and has to find her place in life. She goes through some crazy things that I'm not going to spoil for you in this novel. I might say that Rebecca is a medical examiner. She is dissecting bodies, which is of some importance for the novel in the end. But everything else you have to find out. As I said, it's a novel about coming of age of a young woman and the difficulties of coming of age of a young Black American woman. Also the things that can happen to Black people in the US. There's a very tough scene where I expected it to go like it went. You will see, it's almost in the end of the novel, so I'm not going to say anything about that as either. It's a 4 out of 5 if I would give stars, which I don't give to every book. So just to give you an orientation, Luster by Raven Leilani. I can't wait for her second book to come. Yes, then I'm reading for the Post-Soviet Book Club. I have suggested that we do a check-in actually later today of about the first 65 pages. I might get to that first tomorrow. So all of you, and all the people who have not asked me for the Facebook club, you have to sort of send me a request of being admitted to the Post-Soviet Book Club on Facebook. I cannot invite you if you are not my Facebook friend. So please send me a request to join the Post-Soviet Book Club on Facebook so that you can take part in the discussion of Sergei Lebedev's novel Untraceable. And the second book that I have suggested is then, in 2 months' time in July, Museum of Abandoned Secrets by Oxana Zabuzhko from Ukraine. I have been more than a year now on BookTube, actually 1 year and 12 days, and I haven't celebrated my anniversary here, because I think that's not something to celebrate in general, but what can I say? It really has sort of enlarged my horizon, as we say in German. My perspectives get bigger on literature, and I really love the contact to you people out there, to other booktubers, but also to people who watch the videos, who watch videos on BookTube, and who do comments on those videos, and we can get in contact with each other. That is really amazing to see. I learn so much from you. I learn about new titles, I learn about ways of looking at things, and about this special world that BookTube is. That is very, very interesting. And I've met people from the United States, from Canada, from the UK, from Ireland, from India, and from Holland, from Germany, and many, many other countries. So that's a great thing. I might come back with a video about this year, because there are some other aspects of BookTube that I have learned, that I have studied, that I have sort of registered, and this would be too much to talk about it in just one wrap-up video of 1 week. So maybe I have to make some notes and come back to you with my views on BookTube after 1 year and 8 days in, so to speak. So there is a war going on, and that is really horrible. Every day when I listen to the BBC NewsHour or BBC News, I listen to news from rockets being fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel. I listen to news from bombs being dropped, from Israeli bombs dropped on the Gaza Strip, of people dying each and every day. And I know that this is a very dangerous topic to talk about, because no matter what you say, you're going to hurt, you're going to enrage one of the two sides. If I say I can understand the Palestinians who have lost their homes by the Israeli settlement policy, the Israeli fraction would jump up and say, no, we have a right to do this. If I say that I understand that Israel has a right to defend itself against rockets being fired onto the civilians, the Palestine side would jump up and say, no. There's so much hatred, there's so much tension in this that I don't know how to solve this. But the only thing that I know is that you are not Palestine and Israel and Hamas. You're not going to solve your issues by having a war. War has never led to peace. It only leads to destruction, to murder, and to very bad things. I'm really worried about what's happening in this region, and I hope that the bombs and the rockets and the missiles will stop very soon, and that somehow people can get together and talk and understand that the only chance of going forward is to move into a direction where people can coexist peacefully each other and can look each other into the eyes, not with one being superior over the other, but with people who say that we are equal and we regard each other as human beings. That is so necessary, and it's so saddening to see this conflict. I don't know, I'm a 50-plus man, nearing 60 somehow, and I don't know how many times I have seen this in my life, that this kind of conflict has emerged again and again and again and again. Never stops. Sad. Yeah. The COVID crisis goes on. I really can't stand it anymore. I have gotten my first jab last week on Saturday, but of course I'm far from being sort of safe from the virus. The virus is almost everywhere here in Sweden. We are one of the countries with the highest spread of the virus in the whole world. It's everywhere. When I was walking to that mural and walking back from that mural, there were actually two people where I realized there was a woman passing me by. She was coughing, a very dry cough, where I thought, okay, this is probably COVID in May with this dry cough. And there was a boy, 7, 8, 9 years old, who had this dry cough a couple of, like 200 meters away from that woman. So I thought it's everywhere, and it is really everywhere, because 6,000 new infections each and every day, that is what we have right now in a country with only 10 million people. That's a lot. And well, we still have to be careful, and hopefully we're all hoping for better days, we're all hoping for being able to see each other again, to travel a little bit more, both in my work line of work, which is very important. It's for me very important to meet people, to visit schools, to visit teachers, to get new ideas, to see people and their reactions, and to build up relationships. And that is very difficult when it's not possible to meet those people and to travel a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. That was almost everything that I had to say. I'm going to read next week. I'm going to read a lot of Untraceable by Sergei Lebedev. We have the whole month for this, right? So we have space for other. And I'm still reading for the BookTube prize. And really, after living here now for about 3 weeks tomorrow, I can say that I have established some routines that I'm in a different way able to read in different places of my apartment, of my new apartment, and that gives me a certain hope that I can make it to my goal of reading 52 books in 2021, as I did in last year. I think I did 56 books last year. 52 books is still the goal, although I'm 4 books behind my schedule, according to Goodreads. That rounds up the week of May the 16th. Tomorrow is Norway's National Day. National holiday in Norway. Hello to all my friends in Norway for watching this. Thank you very much. I hope to come back more regularly in the near future with more videos and more content from this channel. Thank you very much. Again, mask up, be careful. We get through this, but it takes time. Bye-bye.